Okay. Food is healing. It's comforting. Whether you're someone like my dad who likes to cook and serve people, or you're like my aunt who likes to bake when she's stressed, or you're like me who eats when I'm stressed. We all enjoy food in different ways. So today I wanted to share one of my favorite recipes, which is banana bread. But before I share the recipe itself, I wanted to go into some history on banana bread. Banana bread wasn't created until the 1930s, which was shocking to me because I just assumed that most recipes go back way farther than that, which some do. Some go as far back as the 15th century. But like I said, banana bread was created in the 1930s. And this was due to a limited availability of bananas in the United States. We didn't start importing bananas from Latin America until the 1880s. And then they got popular in the 1930s. And then there was a similar situation with baking soda, which wasn't available in America until 1846. And then in 1929, we had the Great Depression. So money was tight, food was scarce. People weren't wanting to waste food or throw away food, even if it was kind of gross and unappetizing, like a spoiled, rotten banana. Like, I wouldn't want to peel this and eat it. And so people ended up discovering that bananas are sweeter when they're brown like that. And that's because of the starches in the banana turning into sugars, which cause it to brown and get mushy, but it also causes it to get sweeter because it's sugar. And that's how banana bread was born. So now that I shared a little brief history on banana bread, I'll share the recipe. So if you guys want to make it, you can. So to make the banana bread, you'll need a half cup of melted butter, 1 cup of white sugar, 2 large eggs, a teaspoon of vanilla, 1.5 cups of sifted flour. And you want to make sure that it's sifted so that you don't get little balls of flour in your loaf. Otherwise, that will not be good. A teaspoon of baking soda, a half teaspoon of salt, a half cup of sour cream, which you can swap out for Greek yogurt. It's just a healthier option and it tastes like the exact same. Totally up to you. And then 2 large browned bananas mashed. And then personally, I like to put a streusel on top. So right before I put it in the oven, I'll just top it with some streusel. And if you want to make that, you'll need a half cup of lightly packed brown sugar, a half cup of white sugar, half cup of flour, 1.5 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, 1/8 teaspoon salt, and 1/4 cup of unsalted butter. And then you can just mix that with a fork. Now to make your banana bread, you're going to want to preheat your oven to 350. And then you're going to get a 9x5 loaf pan, which you could either grease with a spray or some butter. I personally would like to use parchment paper. I recommend parchment paper because that just ensures that you'll be able to get your loaf out of the pan easily and it won't crumble or break. And then you'll go ahead and mix your melted butter and your sugar. Make sure that your butter is cooled. And then you could add your 2 eggs and your vanilla. Mix that, set it aside, and then you'll mix your dry ingredients, which is your flour, baking soda, and salt. And again, make sure that that flour is sifted so you don't get the little balls in your bread dough. And then you could combine your wet ingredients with your dry ingredients. And then after that's combined, then you can add your mashed bananas and your sour cream, and you can fold that in gently. Pour that into your loaf pan, and then if you're going to add the streusel, put that on top. Put it in your oven for 60 minutes, and you can just check on it maybe every 30 minutes, check on it, and you can do the toothpick test, which is you get a toothpick and you stick it in the center of your loaf. You take it out. If it comes out clean, then you can take out your loaf, it's done, and move it to a wire rack to cool. If you take it out and it's dirty, it has batter or some kind of residue, then you're going to want to keep it in the oven for a bit longer and just keep doing that test until it comes back clean. So yeah, if you guys make the banana bread, I hope that you share it with somebody who might need some healing, some comfort, and that is all. Thank you for coming.